And finally, today in sports, Loyola athletes shoot, they spike, they sprint, and I stand over here or sit at the desk and tell you all about it. But I finally said enough with the suit and jacket. I sought out some of Loyola's best to challenge them at their own game. While they're not quite pros just yet, they are definitely proficient in their respective sports. So without further ado, this is Pros vs. Joe. We took to Hallis Rec Center for my first challenge, a three-point shootout against three-point specialist Bailey Farley. Got to beat the best at their best, right? Little did she know, I have a storied past from beyond the arc.
You know, I was a sharpshooter back in the day in high school, so this is kind of my forte.
Even though Farley led the team with 39 made threes this past season, she couldn't help but be a little worried.
I've witnessed him shooting around a little bit, and I'm a little scared, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
As for the actual competition, things started off pretty bad, and, well, they got worse.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that.
I only ended up hitting 3 shots while Farley hit 5, meaning round 1 goes to the pros. But luckily on my way back to Gentile,
I think I see Miss Erin Thomas over here, so I have a shot at some instant redemption.
to make matters worse, she was wearing a Miami Heat jersey. I had to beat her on principle alone. Properly warmed up and on a real court, I hit 8. But Thomas was basically automatic. She knocked down 11 shots out of 15, making me 0 for 2 on the day.
Damn, machine.
So I decided to test my luck outdoors, first at Sean Earl Track and Field.
Oh yeah, born ready.
Met up with senior sprinter Chris Lehman and challenged him to a race, because hey, how hard can it be to run in a straight line?
It comes down to who's got the better faux hawk. And I think mine's a little more aerodynamic.
Let's take a look at the faux hawks right here.
Yeah.
As we stepped up to the starting line, I was feeling pretty confident. Until...
Go!
Did you guys just see that?
That wasn't even close.
That was rough. I felt bad.
I can't justify that at all. He was so fast. He was so fast!
I figured a change of location would definitely change my luck. So I headed to Hoyne Field to meet up with Tim Dobrovolsky and Haley Merrill of Loyola's soccer teams. The test seemed simple enough. Score on Tim, stop Haley. I even got some last-second tips on Dobrovolsky's weak spots.
Well, see that upper 90? They basically put it there, and there's nothing he can do if you go upper 90.
Okay.
But I think she might have been lying, because Tim had the entire top shelf covered.
Oh!
All 3 times.
Oh!
When it was my turn to step into the net, Tim did his best to coach me up. He even gave me his gloves. Ironically, I quickly found out that I react extraordinarily slowly. But, lo and behold, on Merrill's last attempt...
Oh!
Oh, the pressure! Does that count as a
That
block?
counts!
Yes! I'm shooting this ball. This is mine. Champion. It's the gloves. It was the gloves. This is the first thing I've ever won.
So I escaped with one small victory. But this experience has shown me I should probably forego the 4 years of NCAA eligibility I have left.
Hey, next time. Right?
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
not.
No. I'm not good at all. I'm not good at all. I should probably just stick to my day job. This is comfortable though.
I don't know, Joe. I had a little bit more faith in you. I thought you were a little bit more athletic than that.
Yeah, well, in all seriousness, I could talk a big game, but those guys can walk the walk. So next time you're watching a college game and think, yeah, I could probably do that better than them, no, you can't. And that's sports.
Thank you, Joe.
.40 degrees, damp, dreary. Might not be baseball weather just yet, but the boys of the summer are back in full swing. Time to get excited, right? Well, maybe not for some Loyola students.
I don't really follow baseball, and really the reason is I don't see the point of baseball. The whole point of baseball seems to be that you start in one place and the goal is to successfully run in a circle.
I think it's kind of a boring sport. Like I've been to some baseball games before. I've been to some Cubs games and a White Sox game before, but I just don't don't think it's that interesting.
It's a long, kind of slow-paced game, so it's hard to sit down and watch the whole thing. So I might sit down and watch one or two, or I'll go to a game or two over the summer. But it's kind of a long series to follow all throughout the season.
After searching far and wide, we did eventually weed out a couple of baseball fans, but they weren't rooting for the hometown Cubs or White Sox.
I love the New York Mets because I'm from New York. Their games are so much fun, and even though they're not the best team, they are a lot of fun to go to the games.
Go Red Sox!
At least Bridget's excited, and I'm excited, even as a Cubs fan, because as they say, hope springs eternal. Joe Flaherty, Loyola, New Chicago. The United Center figures to be packed deep into the summer yet again this season with both its tenants back in the playoffs. The two teams took pretty different routes to get here, but some Loyolans think it's the underdog Bulls and not the reigning champ Blackhawks who will be going farther this season.
They have better matchups in the playoffs in the first two rounds, and I think, first of all, I think they'll take out the Nets pretty easily, or not the Nets, the Wizards pretty easily, and then I think if Miami goes through like I expect them to, I think they match up better with Miami in the second round.
I like the Bulls because of Joakim Noah. I liked him before he got really good this season, so I have a connection with him. Liked him since freshman year of college.
But we did end up finding some support for the Blackhawks.
I think the Blackhawks will win or go further because they have like an all-around, like all the players are high-quality players and all their lines are good. It's not just like a key couple players.
Well, no matter which team goes farther this season, it's safe to say Chicago fans have been spoiled by these two teams. This marks the 6th straight season that these two will be battling for a little bit of new hardware. Joe Flaherty, Loyola, New Chicago.
Joe Flaherty here with sports. And Joe, this surely wasn't a move anyone could have predicted.
Yeah, that's definitely right, Kendall. From Grace Calhoun's perspective, this must seem like the opportunity of a lifetime. The former track and field athlete from Brown got an opportunity to return to the Ivy League, return to her roots on the East Coast, not far from where she grew up in upstate New York. But for everyone else, including those within the Loyola athletic department, the question is, why now? Almost as soon as she came in and drastically shook up the department with more than 40 new hires, she's on her way out with little warning. Former Loyola Phoenix sports editor Brendan Bond covered Calhoun's arrival and was just as confused as the rest of us when hearing of her departure.
It's really soon. I mean, she was 3 years on the job, and she had just finished hiring a bunch of new coaches, pretty much cleaning house when she got here and getting her people in place, and to kind of leave before the job's finished was a little surprising.
Bond doesn't believe her predecessor will come from inside the athletic department, but he hopes whoever it is will be named promptly.
I kind of feel bad for the athletic department, for the athletes to have the turnover 3 years ago and now have the turnover again to go through. So I hope the administration finds somebody quickly, just to, because a turnover like that is really tough on the whole department.
Bond believes Calhoun's biggest pitfall was failing to promote student involvement and attendance at games, and that should be the new director's first order of business. As for the athletic department, they've told us that more details will be coming through in the following week, so we'll be sure to deliver that information as it becomes available. You can rest assured that men's volleyball isn't going anywhere anytime soon. The nation's top dogs were looking to pull in their third win in 5 days as they hosted St. Francis last Saturday. 3 starters got the night off to rest up for the stretch run, but those who stayed on the floor didn't skip a beat. Cody Caldwell notched 14 more kills en route to MIVA Offensive Player of the Week honors. The Ramblers coast to a straight set victory. Coach Shane Davis praised his team's version of the bench mob.
There's just a great confidence on the court, you know, no matter who's out there, and that swagger is there, and that FU attitude a little bit, you know, and you know, we got guys, if a guy's hurt, guy steps in and he brings the same kind of demeanor and attitude.
Make that 17 straight wins and counting for the Ramblers. They're creeping up on that program record of 21 straight set back in 2005. They'll have 2 shots to add to that total this week. Away from campus, defensive ends keep playing musical chairs in the NFC North. First, Julius Peppers heads to Green Bay, so Chicago Bears GM Phil Emery countered by going to Jared's. The team scooped up Jared Allen from the Vikings on a 4-year deal worth a guaranteed $15.5 million. The 32-year-old ranks 12th all-time with 128.5 career sacks. The Bears can use all the defensive help they can get after ranking dead last in the league versus the run last season. Just stay healthy. And wrapping up back here on campus, take a look at Loyola Softball Park. looks a little more like the frozen tundra. The Ramblers have already had 8 games postponed or canceled thanks to Mother Nature, but head coach Missy Becerris isn't letting it affect her and the team.
You know, Mother Nature's going to do her own thing. Being a school in Chicago, this is kind of what we expect. You know, I know it's cold every spring. I think this year is just a little bit longer, but you know, the girls know they're all local kids. This is our hometown environment, so, you know, we would like to use it to our advantage.
Yeah, and Mother Nature's also doing her best to thaw out that field, as I found out when I tried to take a step on that diamond. Let's just say I need a new pair of shoes. But they're hoping that all that's dried up by the time they have to host Drake this Saturday for a doubleheader. And that's all for sports.
It's a lot for sports. Thanks, Joe.
It's a busy week.